It just looks so good. Hello, and at the end of the day, hello, my wonderful friends, and welcome to another episode of Arlocast. As we close the book on our third month of Arlocast, I am reminded of a poem. Yep, it's a good poem. I like that one. You should read it sometime. Our first guest is a returning favorite. He's a YouTuber with an impressive record under his belt. He's been to every single convention that's ever happened in the history of video games. Please welcome AntDude.
That sounds fair. I don't know how accurate that is, but I'll have my people check back with your people and see if we can confirm or deny.
You've been to every single one I've been to. Like, every time I've gone to any, I mean, like, the local one.
It's because I'm your biggest fan.
You just show up. It's every single one. Like, yeah, of course AntDude's
I haven't
here.
Been to your con that you hold.
That's
that
true.
You used to hold. That's true. So, see?
Been to basically every single other one. How many have you been to? Like, do you think you can estimate?
Individual cons, at least a dozen. For sure. Like in the peak year, I think was like 2017 or 18 for me. I hit up like 8 in a single year.
Wow.
I love them. I love those. It's one of the things I miss the most. And once that circuit starts back up, I'm raring to go.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, I just got my taste of it. Like, I got my first taste of it, and then everything went bad. Well, I mean, technically, it is starting up again. I don't know how wise it is, though. It's the problem.
Oh, yeah. Were they ever wise? We're gonna get sick anyway, man.
That's true. We are gonna get sick anyway. Oh well.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
Yes, we're so happy, so very happy to have you. As for our second guest, who I shouldn't forget to get to, I couldn't decide who to ask, so I drew names out of a hat. Hold on, no, that's terrible. I drew a blank, so I drew a picture, drew a bath. Never mind, I got nothing. It's Nintendrew.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing right now?
All sorts of things. Well, right now I'm recording for a podcast.
That sounds fun.
I was invited to go on this cool new show.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to meet at Too Many Games in 2019. That was a good time. We didn't get to hang out much.
Right before the world ended.
Before the world ended, exactly. We didn't get to talk much. We did like the meeting thing and the shaking the hands and the and the hugs and the headbutts and all those secret YouTuber stuff that we do.
Don't give away all the secrets.
All the hazing rituals and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Please tell everybody about the suit you were wearing.
Oh my. Yeah, I actually had the company that made that suit was I guess somebody there had seen some of my videos and wanted to send it out to me to hop on the YouTube coattails, right? But I was all too happy to have a Mario suit it's just if you haven't seen it, it's completely plastered with the 2D Mario art. I guess it's the art that calls back to the retro, like Super Mario Brothers 3 days and the new 2D line art style that they're doing with 3D World and stuff like that. But it's just absolutely plastered from head to toe in all the different Mario characters. And it is definitely the loudest suit I've ever had the pleasure of wearing.
Yeah, my ears are still ringing.
It's a fresh look. It's a very fresh look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to wear it to E3 that year, and then I brought it out to Too Many Games, and it was definitely a hit.
It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. And that trip there, a couple times in the podcast, I've mentioned Wawa, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. AntDude, I believe I have you to thank for that, for introducing me to the wonder that is Wawa.
Dude, Wawa's great. That's WawaCon right there. That's half the reason you go to PA, because you're right next to the Wawa, so you're bound to have it at least once a day.
Yeah,
it's great.
At least once a day. And I'm really, really sad. I mean, I know over here we have In-N-Out and people like In-N-Out, but like you guys got Wawa over there. It's just, and so like people were wondering what it was, because we were talking about like putting it into a computer, and they're like, what are you talking about? It's basically a gas station. Did I end up describing this last time? Whatever, I'm describing it now. It's a gas station, convenience store, except they got a sandwich shop, but you order on like a tablet. So like you don't even have to talk to anybody. You just type in all the things that you want and you pay, and then they just throw the sandwich at you. It's incredible.
It's perfect. An introvert's paradise.
And you got like hundreds of different options too.
And they're good too. It's good sandwiches.
Yeah, it's good. It's good food. And I'm a part of their little reward program also, so I get points.
Oh.
Whenever I go to get free sandwiches as time goes on.
I want it so bad.
So.
I want a Wawa here. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
when's the sponsorship for that one coming in?
All right. It's like most of the country can't actually use this place because they don't have one, but I'll take a sponsorship. You want to pay me for it? So anyway, let's talk about our guests. Drew.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do, Drew?
Well, all sorts of things. I just in a general overview, I guess. I'm a retro gaming focused YouTuber, mostly focused on classic Nintendo stuff with a healthy mix of retrospectives, DIY projects, and some of that game hunting goodness. I'm definitely first and foremost a collector at heart. I'm also part of the Minus World YouTube group, which some of your viewers may know about. That includes a whole host of awesome folks, including Nathaniel Bandy. I know he was recently on. And so we like to get together for each week for some nostalgic shenanigans, and that's about it.
That's good. And you have quite the amiibo collection, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think it's probably fallen by the wayside in recent years, but I was big on amiibo collecting. I was out there like waiting at stores the days that each one of them would launch back in the heyday of the Wii U era. But after I got my full set for Smash 4, I really just kind of slacked. I don't have any of the new ones.
That's all right. You know what? I'll forgive you.
But I do have a complete 64 collection. My US N64 library is complete, which was one of the first complete libraries I went after.
Wow. That's really impressive. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the 64 was super nostalgic for me, and that was what I remembered from my childhood. So when I first decided to get into game collecting in earnest, that was one where I looked it up, and I think it's 297 games that came out in North America for the 64. So I was like, yeah, that's feasible. A human could do that. So I decided I would be that human.
That is awesome. So what you're working on anything exciting now? What are you doing right now?
Well, I guess I'll give a little sneak peek. I'm on a bit of a YouTube drought, and I haven't explicitly addressed that to my audience yet. I'm thinking I might drop a few little hints here shortly. But here, an Arlocast exclusive.
Yeah, give us the state of the channel.
Yeah. I come from a background of game development. I was a developer before I jumped into the YouTube world.
Gasp.
And I am working on something in that realm that hopefully will be something that you guys can get your eyes on here in the next month or so.
That is incredibly exciting. I desperately want to get into game development, so that is very cool.
I'll do a little bit of an extra push, by the way. I got the chance, the very very esteemed chance to check out a little snippet of what was being worked on, and I will also say an Arlocast exclusive. It is very something exciting that you're going to want to keep your eyes on.
Oh, you don't want to give us a tiny little taste, a little hint, a little clue about what it is?
Well, it's definitely a very retro inspired, and it is a love letter to all the games that I grew up with. So if you have any sort of if you have an adjacent gaming taste to myself, which I would assume is a lot of those folks in the Nintendo sphere, I think it'll be something that we can look forward to. Hopefully it doesn't suck.
And if you're looking for teammates, I'm good at like shouting at people over their shoulder while I eat sandwiches, loud criticism of games I haven't played yet. I can do all sorts of stuff. So
now we're right in the beta testing phase. That's what I was doing right before it came on here. Is I was with a group of folks finding a list of horrific bugs that are going to take way too long to fix.
Okay,
so
but see, like that means you're in it though. That means like you're at the beta. Like that's far along. That's exciting.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. This is I guess that's a detail I can share without any spoilers. It's been a project that I've been off and on for the better part of a decade. I actually had the concept of this game back in 2013 when I was full-time working for a local company in game development, and I've had a couple hiatuses. Is that the plural of hiatus?
No idea.
Hiatus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Since then, so like it's been off and on, but for the past year, I've been taking a couple days a week to focus in on that. And through August, we set aside as both me and my buddy Matt, who's the developer of a robot named Fight, which came out on Switch and on Steam. We've been working together in earnest on the game for the past year, and so we decided for the month of August we were gonna make that our number one priority. So that's why I've had a bit of a YouTube drought, but I'm excited to get back into the the swing of things after the game is done.
That is monumentally exciting. That's a juicy exclusive. Thank you. That's good. I'm going to plaster this information everywhere. Get articles going and everything.
Yeah.
Take all the stuff that you said and put it in quotes into lots of different articles about it. Ant, Mr. Dude.
Hello.
A brief recap. What do you do on your YouTube?
Nowhere near as exciting as what Drew's got going on. The stupid videos are all I got going on. Hey, I make it work.
That's what we do.
Same, like retro inspired Nintendo content. Like, I wonder if people out there think it's like a weird gimmick. Like we got to talk about this by any means necessary to make it on YouTube. It's genuinely something that my whole life is revolved around. But yeah, it's the same stuff. But the thing I like doing the most, for those who haven't seen the content, is trying to shine a light on fan-made games, ROM hacks, fan projects, mods, all that sort of stuff. And I don't think that sort of side of the gaming community gets as much recognition as it should, because the fans make a lot of really cool stuff.
Sure do.
I just did I think like a half-hour video on Sonic fan games just to be like, hey, whatever Sega does, ignore it. People are doing cool stuff. You don't got to worry about them. But the same old YouTube shtick as everyone else. That's
good. And so, what do you have lined up right now? I feel like you were saying you got other Sonic stuff coming. You like to do like these blocks, right? Like a month of something or other.
I used to. Normally what I like to do now is if something is coming down the pipeline, I'll try to get some sort of video project out to kind of hype it up. Like I did a Skyward Sword thing right when the game, the HD version launched. I know like Sonic Colors and Monkey Ball are coming out. And I'll want to do those. And I spent all of August like just capturing footage for future videos. I guess another Arlocast exclusive, although I don't know how exciting it is. I'm working on a Wario Land retrospective now.
Fine.
Because I adore that series. Like WarioWare is really cool. Obviously, like I played the demo for Get It Together. It's awesome. But Wario Land is like consistently some of the best platformers Nintendo's like ever put out. And they don't get the recognition that they deserve. So I'm taking the opportunity of the WarioWare hype to hopefully the CEO or the SEO will be in my favor.
The CEO of Wario Land.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Doug Bowser himself will see the video and be like, oh, okay, we'll make another Wario Land game. So that's the hope.
I think that's a really good idea just because we've been here. I mean, like everybody who's into WarioWare, they all say the same thing. They're always just like, oh yeah, WarioWare is great. I mean, Wario Land would be really cool. WarioWare is great too, though. So like, there's a lot of people, especially with the new game coming out, that like, myself included, I've never played a Wario Land game, but I'm really interested in them. So like, really? I would definitely watch some Wario Land content. I think it's a piece of Nintendo's history that not a lot of people know a lot about. So I don't know. I think it's ripe for the picking, that content there.
Like, I mean, like I get it. Like WarioWare is awesome for like, it definitely generated more fans. So why wouldn't Nintendo just embrace it a lot harder? Like I get it. Nintendo does so many other 2D platformers out there. Wario just sort of got lost in the shuffle. It's not as grandiose as like a Donkey Kong Country. It's not as artistic as a Yoshi. I mean, granted, they keep making Kirby games left and right. That didn't stop them. But I mean, I can't complain. That's my bread and butter. But yeah, like, and also, I mean, that contributes to Nintendo not promoting their older games as much. It's a whole conversation. But like Wario Land, specifically 3, in my opinion, are like, Wario Land 3 is one of my favorite platformers of all time. Like I think it's that good, and no one really nowadays talks about them. So I hope to change that a little bit.
I hope that you do. Well, you know what? I think let's launch right into it. It's time for What's in the News. It's time to talk about the news. Speaking of fan games, you hear what happened to that Prime 2D? The Prime 2D game?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Awesome. Oof. Yay. Hooray. Nintendo shut him down. If anyone listening didn't see it, these people were making like a 2D reimagining of Metroid Prime. It just looks so good. It just looks so good. There's nothing to say. Just like the art was incredible and it looks so good. And Nintendo shut them down. I don't know, like what the timing process. I don't really understand. Like this was months ago, right? Like why now? Why is it just now? Nintendo's like, okay, Let's let them work and spend a couple more of their months of their life.
I guess because like they're starting to hype up Dread. They're starting to hype up Dread hardcore. Yeah. So like, why not like ignore anything else that's in the pipeline? May as well use their legal muscle to knock it down.
I guess they had months.
But yeah, it still sucks.
It might have been a case where it just finally came across the right person's desk or the wrong person's desk, I guess.
Yeah, very likely. And it's like, I mean, it stinks too, because it's like, it is inevitable. So it's kind of like, you wonder why people try at all. But I don't know, like, this team of people.
Yeah, they have to know what they're getting into.
Yeah, like, it's clearly really talented. They should really just, like, tweak some stuff and make their own game. I think everybody's pretty...
I saw a post, and I don't know how legitimate it is. I think someone said something along the lines of Nintendo tends to only take down the fan games that are like remaking existing games or like trying to sneak in on another like AM2R is the famous one because they just happened to also be making a Metroid 2 remake. There's like a bunch of those. I was like the one trying to be Mother 4, I think was one from a few years ago, that canceled, a few Mario remakes and whatnot. But I mean, like Mario Flashback is still around.
True.
So like I don't think the Nintendo fan game thing is as toxic as some people say, but when you get into remake territory, Nintendo's gonna squash that. As much as it sucks, like again, I've been playing so many Sonic games, and like the fan game community is incredible, and there's a bunch of remakes, and it's a shame that Nintendo just can't see, like Metroid Prime 2D looked great. If they're not going to do it, leave the fans to. It's easy. And then like it's only a positive thing because the fans will like the community and the games more and encourage them to want to play the old thing. It's like this conversation's been had to, forever. Nintendo's not going to change their ways, and that part sucks.
Yep. Yeah, it is unfortunate. It's just it's the circle of life, I guess.
Yeah, sadly.
Gosh, it looks so good though. And then speaking of Metroid, anyone listening, we're not going to say the spoiler. But what the heck? Did you see that Nintendo spoil one of the biggest surprises in the game?
In Dread? Is that in the new trailer?
Yeah, today. Yeah. And all their tweets and stuff. They're just plastering it all over the place.
I haven't. I know that there is a new trailer, but I haven't seen it yet, so maybe I should avoid it.
Oh yeah.
So I made so I haven't seen the trailer either because I'm on a big media blackout for Dread, but there were so many tweets about it, and so I know what the spoiler is because. Oh my God, there were so many tweets about it, and I don't understand why. I guess Nintendo's wanting to really make this the best-selling Metroid game of all time. Here's how crazy it is. But I don't know why. That sucks.
Like, you already have
I know what it is.
That's not going to get more people to buy it. It's kind of, we've had this problem with a lot of Nintendo's marketing where it's like, you already got us. You don't need to show us everything. They did that with, Mario Odyssey and, Breath of the Wild. You don't need to. That's not, you reach a point of saturation. You're not going to get more sales for spoiling this stuff. Aggravating.
Metroid Dread's one of the few games I feel like will be just this almost religious experience if you go in blind, it's been so long since a proper new 2D Metroid game. I want to know nothing, and it sucks that I even know just the text of what was in that trailer.
Yeah. And it's so everywhere. And especially as a person who makes videos about this stuff, I can't go on media blackout. I can't block out the word Dread. And even if I did, people will just tag me. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. There's literally nothing I could do. There's no scenario where I got away without knowing that because Nintendo themselves put it out there. Very frustrating.
Okay, I was too curious and I did just look at it. It is pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's peer pressure. You just succumb to peer pressure. I'm going to be good on this one. Oh, but I can't.
At least I didn't see the trailer, though.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool thing. I haven't seen it. I've only seen the text. I haven't seen the visuals. But it sounds very exciting.
Yeah, I'm still not going to watch any trailers. It's Nintendo does that thing where the first trailer is always kind of it looks good, but then the follow-up trailers are oh my gosh, it's just got that extra little polish, and they spoil all the stuff, so it's all really exciting.
They're very good at curating that hype factory.
Yeah, absolutely. I get the feeling that that's what this trailer is. It's the one that makes you go like the Breath of the Wild trailer that they did at the January presentation before the Switch. It's just that one that comes out kind of close to launch and makes you just want it so bad.
That's what the Pokemon trailer did too. Legends. everyone watched that first trailer and they were like, I don't know if this is Switch Pro. This has to be Switch Pro. And then the new trailer dropped and everyone was like, oh, okay, this looks incredible. Which I think is a much better move than like another company's approach where the games look worse as time goes on.
Yeah, and then you get it, and it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good thing about Nintendo. They're at least a little more predictable in that way. They're not trying to trick us or anything.
For sure.
And speaking of that, just because that is relatively recent news, any thoughts on any of the Pokemon stuff?
Oh, with Pokemon TV?
No, just like the like Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearls.
I know that I guess a portion of the internet hive mind has been pretty critical of the Diamond and Pearl remakes, but I could not be more excited for those. Honestly, I grew up with
Thank you. Same.
Diamond, and I am super excited to jump back into it. I love that it's this kind of hybrid, sort of almost like the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but a nod back to the original art style. I don't know. I'm kind of avoiding the commentary about it just because I know I'm gonna love it. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
A good positive attitude about Pokemon. I like it.
I mean, I'm in the same boat, but the interesting take with me is I didn't like Gen 4 when I first played it. I think I played through Diamond and I wasn't a fan, even though I got through it. I think it was like just the pacing of the game. And I look back and yeah, it's like very slow and like the health bar moves so slow. And that was like at the right age where I thought I was like too old for Pokemon, you know? So I'm like, oh, this is because it's just a dumb kids game. And I'm looking at these little action figure little toys in the game as little playable characters. And I'm like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like totally sold. I love, cause I don't want to start a big fight in the comments, but I don't understand like
Please do.
This is the most traditional, I think, upport of a Game Boy game I think I've seen.
Definitely.
Like Link's Awakening. Like the sprites were tiny. They were chibi by design because of the limitations. I would rather, if you're doing you either do a full-blown Final Fantasy VII like remake, or you stick to the original style where they're little cute on the overworld. They're normal size humans in the battles. Like, that's great. There's, like, little official art of, like, the little chibi trainers and Pokemon in the cave mining. And I'm like, this is the cutest thing. Like, I hated Gen 4, and I'm excited for this. And so, like, I don't know. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I'm the same. I played Diamond at the time, just wasn't really impressed. I'm hoping, like, now I'm kind of excited to go back to a more just, like, traditional Pokemon experience, you know, back in the good old days. Everybody's got a different good old days, but this one is a lot of people's good old days. So I'm, especially with, just enhancements and sped up and everything, I'm hoping to, just to kind of see if my opinion, I mean, that was 14 years ago or whatever. So
Yeah.
like, I'm ready to try it out again. And, cause I like Pokemon. People think I hate Pokemon. I don't hate Pokemon. I have problems with the recent games or whatever, but like, I love it as an idea, you know? And I had my whole thing. It's funny you mentioned like when you go through the period where you think you have to hate Pokemon because it's for kids. And it's just like remembering a time in my life when I'm just like embarrassed to like it, and like the older kids who like used to like it, but now my friends now they don't like it anymore. And now I gotta like hide the Game Boy under the car seat when they walk by when I see them in the street.
Dude. That was definitely my high school experience. I remember when I was in high school, that was the era of the Wii, the 360, and the PS3. And I was this little nerd kid always going around trying to convince my best friends that the Wii could hang with the Xbox and the PlayStation. I remember I was so hyped when the Conduit came out for Wii. I still talk about the Conduit today.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
Wii's
their
Halo.
it was like their Halo or Call of Duty that I think it was High Voltage Software had made, that they were trying to push the limits of the Wii. For whatever reason, that developer decided that they wanted their next gen FPS to be on the Wii. I mean, I'll still hype it up as it's one of the best looking Wii games, but I just remember being a little snot-nosed kid trying to convince everybody that the Wii could make good looking graphics. You know?
Yeah, it's just so funny. Like, it's just I'm 13 at that time. Now I'm 33, and it's just like, who cares? My favorite show's Fraggle Rock. I literally just, who cares? You don't care in the slightest.
That is the best part. That is the best part about being a gamer as you grow older, is just the not care. Because I was the same. Everyone was talking about Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, whatever. I'm like, dude, the Boy and His Blob remake is sick, and like, no one cared. So now I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna play these little indie games, and I'll have people say, you have to play that. I'm like, I don't have to do anything. I'm gonna sit and play these little indie games and be happy.
It's a way to do it.
Well, the funny
Yeah,
thing too is
Pokemon.
like even just the world, we've steadily progressed in a like people now, kids now would not even understand the idea that like there was ever a time when you'd be embarrassed to play a game. Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like games are so much more widely accepted now that even 10, 20 years ago or whatever, it was just like they weren't like super duper niche. It wasn't like early D&D with like nerds in the basement. You know, it wasn't like super niche, but it still wasn't like it wasn't as nearly as big as it is now.
Right.
The peak of that for me was I was too embarrassed to ask my mom at the time to buy me Super Princess Peach. I really wanted to play Super Princess Peach, and I would look online and I would see other like kids on GameFAQs saying, I don't think I should be. It's too girly for me, and I missed out on playing that game for years. And it's a pretty good game. It's a stupid mentality to have.
Yeah. I feel like today, instead of like kids making fun of kids for playing Nintendo games, now it's moved on to like making fun of people for playing Candy Crush or you know, like whatever the next mobile fad is.
Yeah. Casual games, mobile games.
Yeah. Stupid casuals.
Every game is good, even bad games.
Every game is bound to be someone's favorite.
Exactly. You know what? Candy Crush, that's a darn good game.
Yeah.
I played that a lot for a while, for a couple of years there. It just feels so good. You swipe it and just the sound effects and the crunchy noises.
I definitely
Yeah.
played an embarrassing
good.
amount of Flappy Bird when that was a big thing.
That was a big thing for a very short amount of time, but it was a big thing during that amount of time.
Yep.
Everybody loved the Flappy Bird. What else we got in the news here? We got a couple other things. There was a another little tidbit about the Mario movie. We're getting all these little like leaks and stuff from places, and apparently it seems very possible that the Teen Titans people's creators or whatever are going to be directing the Mario movie. Any thoughts?
Oh,
Teen Titans
I
Go,
missed
I
that.
guess.
I'm remaining cautiously optimistic about the Mario movie. I guess I'm in an interesting position because I could be unique in saying that I absolutely adore the live action film from, what is it, 86 or somewhere around there. They put out
Oh yeah.
80, 89 maybe, I don't know,
something.
somewhere in the 80s. They or it could have been early 90s actually, I don't even know. But
I think it was like 92 or something.
I have it on DVD.
don't
I should know. But no, I absolutely love the just the campiness and the bizarre nature of that film. But I realize it's going to be in a very different direction this time. But you know, it's got some competent people behind it. So like, you know, you would think if they've got some talented young minds behind some of the story and production, I think it has a good chance.
Yeah, that was the thing I was worried about, I guess, was the story, because they kept reiterating like Miyamoto's going to be the one who's making sure like things are going to be kept, and I'm like, okay, cool, I've been burned by Paper Mario. I'm going to expect like the bare basic save the princess stuff. Like that's fine as long as it's animated well. Fine.
You would think that like just going into a movie that he would have respect for the genre or the media, that the story would be a little bit more forefront. Hopefully, I don't know.
It's got to be something at least.
I mean, that's what I'm excited, because there was the one actor who shouldn't have leaked it, said he was going to play Foreman Spike in the movie, and people for like he shouldn't have said it. He was like, this comedian was on a podcast and he was just like, yeah, I got to go somewhere to voice someone for the Mario movie. I'm playing this guy Spike. It's the Mario Bros. Boss. And I was like, what? Everyone was like, wait, Foreman Spike from Wrecking Crew? Because
cool.
like canonically, that is what the Mario Bros were doing, or at least Mario, I guess, before becoming a plumber, and Spike was their boss. I'm like, oh, so this is like an origin story. What?
Yeah, that was
That's
big
weird.
hint. Really, he definitely was not supposed to say that, and I wonder if he got any angry phone calls.
Yeah. So I mean,
I wonder if
I'm sure it'll be fine. Sonic will probably be better, which is weird.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely enjoyed the Sonic movie after they'd made their adjustments. I still want to see that original version though, with the terrifying Sonic. I would love to have that as a director's cut.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh no.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the man hog. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to expect about the Mario movie. My hopes are not high, but it's also like so weird. I can't necessarily just be like, it'll just be bad. I feel like it could also be weird, or maybe like weirdly good. It's such a strange scenario. I have a hard time grasping even the reality of it.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I don't know what to expect.
I mean, I would just hope Nintendo does like a big spectacle where they don't just release the movie in a bubble and then move on. Like, I would anticipate like, oh, there's a new game and we're doing more event. Like, I would assume a trailer would have happened last year if, everyone didn't have a stiff arm or whatever disease we want to call it. Because there was supposed to be a big Mario spectacular. I imagine the movie would have played a part in it. So I would hope. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get Burger King toys and a whole slew of new figures and stuff. I'm sure they'll have some big marketing thunderclap.
Yeah, I see there being a lot of marketing for it. But I don't see Nintendo. They move at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
They don't really plan super far ahead. I don't see it tying into any game, any digital product whatsoever. I don't see it necessarily immediately leading to other movies. Let's greenlight the next Mario movie, and then everybody jokes and then the Zelda movie, and then you make the big Avengers thing. I really don't see it. They're so cautious. It took them.
That would be amazing. Oh my god, I never thought about this being the start of an NCU, like the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. Oh my god, there's just a bunch of post-credit scenes that leads to a Smash Brothers movie, dude. All right, I'm on board now. That's sick. That's sick.
It's the best terrible idea. It's
awesome.
No, it's so silly, but I would love that too. But I don't see it. I see them. It took them this long to make a real Mario movie. I think they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna be like, okay, let's sit back for the next 10 years and stew on this and see if there's anything else we want to do with this. You know what I mean? They don't think, what else can we do? Let's. And I know it's a big thing with me and them. I'm a planner. I would make a good, cold-hearted, cynical executive, I think. Because I want to make a thing out of it. I want to plan ahead. I want to be like, what are the next 5 movies we're making?
Yeah.
But not them.
On a similar, I don't want to take over the news segment, but speaking of Nintendo being weird with how they plan things, did you see the new anime that got announced?
The fitness boxing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Funimation just randomly tweeted yesterday that there's going to be a fitness boxing anime.
Okay. Sure.
And that's a Nintendo game. Nintendo, what? It's so weird. It's a weird company.
That game, that series is just weird. I didn't even know why people were talking about it at first. I'm just I didn't get it. It's because it's a Nintendo thing.
Mm-hmm.
They published it at least.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a kind of a generic, I don't know, whatever. Fitness boxing. Okay, fine. Yeah, get an anime.
No, not Fire Emblem, a story-based game.
Imagine
like Xenoblade would be cool. Even Zelda, we can wash out the 90s show or whatever, and we do this instead. No, fitness boxing.
Kirby, Animal Crossing, Splatoon. Fitness boxing. Makes sense.
There were Sushi Striker anime cutscenes in the game. They'd make a full-blown thing out of it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I think it almost seems like this kind of thing gets greenlit because it's so low stakes.
Yeah.
It's almost like the fact that it's not as big and there aren't as many fans means they can just kind of do it. Whereas if you're making an anime adaptation of something big, especially now, they were way more loosey-goosey about it way back in the day. That's why we had all those weird Mario cartoons and stuff. But nowadays they're way more cautious about it. But fitness boxing, who cares?
And that's what I was going to say with the leaks too, that you mentioned that the actor mentioned playing Forbin Spike. I would not be surprised if they changed that before the movie comes out, because Nintendo is just vehemently leak phobic. I remember there was a
delete the character.
Yeah, there was a Zelda live action series that somebody was working on for Netflix.
Yeah,
and then they canceled it because of leaks. They just completely scrapped it. And
no, we don't want to. We don't want it anyway.
I remember, actually, this ties back into Pokemon. I remember Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, when those were out. The way you were supposed to get to Arceus or Arceus, whatever, the god Pokemon.
Arceus,
yeah. Is you're supposed to get some sort of a flute from one of those distribution events at GameStop and Best Buy and that sort of thing. You were supposed to get this flute that would let you go up the giant staircase to fight Arceus. And some people found the code for it and made Game Shark codes or Action Replay so you could get this thing before they announced it. And then they just completely scrapped that entire storyline, that entire side mission in the games, and just gave away Arceus in a Cherish Ball or whatever at all the retailers at the time. They were just well, somebody else found it first, so we can't do that. Just change the way they distributed
That's
it.
ridiculous. Don't let it spoil everything. Well, see, and then that's weird because then that's the same Nintendo that just told everybody that big Metroid spoiler. Like, it's just.
I know, really, right?
My editor, he made a good point about this. He made it was a good tweet. Everyone should go retweet it. It's like the same Nintendo that gives us just like, hey, look at this big surprise, big secret surprise, and then you have Sakurai, who's like, we didn't want to have a story mode in Smash because we didn't want people spoiling it again. Like, we literally not even do it.
It still bothers me.
Yeah.
Rather than have people potentially spoil it. It's just like, there's no consistency here.
Yeah, it's a weird company.
But they like control. That's really their thing. It's whoever's in charge of any given project is just kind of like, it's just kind of whatever they want in that moment, I guess. And whoever was doing the Pokemon thing, they were like, no, scrap the whole thing. It's not even worth it anymore. And then they go and they cross their arms and they go pout in the corner.
Yep.
Well, any other little news bits you guys want to talk about? Any recent stuff?
I don't know if anything. I think the news cycle sort of died down. I mean, what Gamescom happened, I don't think anything super exciting happened at a Gamescom.
Nothing earth-shattering.
Yeah, exactly. Not on the Nintendo end, although there is that one, wow, what is that one that's like, it's a monster catching game? So everybody was comparing it to Pokemon, but it's, what is it? Doke V?
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
Mm-mm. It was crazy. Like, it was like super colorful and like really well, like it looked way too good. Like it looked surprisingly good, I think is the game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. There's like a top-down cutesy animal game, but you're in like an evil cult. It's like Cult of the Lamb or something, but it's like cutesy animals and you're performing demon rituals and stuff. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then apparently at the indie show, they revealed Blasphemous 2.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool.
Okay. So, a good show.
Yeah.
I guess.
There was some stuff.
They said Joker's coming to, not Joker, Morgana's going to Monkey Ball. So that's neat.
Yeah.
I know
it's true. Other than that, I mean, like, we are in kind of a quiet, at least on the Nintendo side, a little bit of a quiet part of the cycle. But do you think that this is the calm before the storm? Do you think we'll get a September Direct, as we have most years?
Ooh, I hope so.
Most I think almost every year. I think there's been one early September.
Nintendo fan
we
Christmas.
didn't last year just because there were none. But like, yeah, I mean, this year they seem to have returned back to normal. Had one in February, had one at E3, so one in September. It makes all the sense in the world.
Doesn't it usually tie in with like PAX West? Isn't that like usually why they normally do it around PAX West, and I think something around like an indie show around PAX East because they're gonna show off new stuff. So I think it says PAX West here, Friday September 3rd to Monday September 6th. So I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I hate the speculation train before a Direct gets announced because boy, Twitter gets, every time Nintendo tweets anything, it's just a floodgate is opened. But it would certainly be nice.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I really want to go on a vacation. I want to schedule one for myself. I haven't since my vacation last year, a year ago. But pretty much, I want to take advantage of summer. But summer's almost gone, and one of the only times I have is like mid-September. So like, when a Direct is definitely gonna happen. So I kind of just can't. I just can't. I don't know.
But if you expect it, then it won't happen, right?
Nah, I think scheduling a vacation, if anything is gonna like will it into existence, it's definitely that. It's definitely going out and sitting on the beach and not looking at the internet. That's what's gonna make it happen. Whatever you're talking about is incredible. But now it's time for a word from our sponsor. This episode of Arlocast was brought to you by Amanda's Slightly Used Cardboard Boxes. Come on down to Amanda's Slightly Used Cardboard Boxes today to purchase at least one or more slightly used cardboard boxes. She does not just have one slightly used cardboard box. There is an S. There is an S in that name. Plural. Pluralizes it. That means at least one. Greater than one slightly used cardboard box. It can't be one. It's not one. It's not one. It's more than one. Otherwise, that name would be a lie, and you could sue her. You could contact the Better Business Bureau. You could file a class action lawsuit for false advertisement if she has any fewer than 2 slightly used cardboard boxes. How many slightly used cardboard boxes does she have for sale? Well, that's a secret. That's a secret. You can't know that. You're not allowed to know that. I mean, you can go down to the store, down to Amanda's slightly used cardboard boxes and try to count them, but she's not legally required to show you the boxes or to communicate to you how many she has in stock. In fact, if you go, I've been there once or twice, you go, it's just an empty room, and it's Amanda sitting on a stool in the middle of the room, and she'll tell you about the cardboard boxes. She does not have to show you, okay? You can look it up. You can talk to a lawyer. She has looked into this. She has studied law. She took 2 years at Harvard Law to make sure that she does not have to show you or tell you how many slightly used cardboard boxes that she has. All you know is there's more than one. So come on down to Amanda's slightly used cardboard boxes today. Now back to AntDude and Nintendrew. Well, you know what?
Oh, I was just going to say, I know something that happened in adjacent to my spheres. I know that the guy who designed the look of the NES and Super Nintendo consoles, Lance Barr, he retired from Nintendo after almost 4 decades of working for him.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wonder what he's been like. What's his day-to-day look like?
Yeah, I have no clue.
Like what other stuff has he been? Because he designed like the Wii nunchuck.
Oh, okay.
Oh, weird.
But it's like, what is he doing? How is he putting in his 40? You know, like there's only so many products to be designing at any given time. So I'm so curious, you know, like what other stuff did he do that we don't know? You know, we would never find out.
Yeah, who knows? The guy's got to be at least in his 60s now because you know he's been working there for 4 decades. So it's interesting to me that he said he was moving on to other projects.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you'd think he'd take it easy after, you know, an illustrious career at Nintendo for 4 decades. But
it's like you designed the NES and the Super NES. You think you need a new project?
Yeah, he did those 2 and then just found a closet. And
you
then
basically
just chilled
could. I mean,
for 30 years, he was good to go.
We found him. I mean, like,
out of here.
it's like, this guy was still on payroll.
They found him out. That's why he's really retiring.
No,
he's been just like hiding.
I know there's also a Kickstarter up now for the first Game Boy Advance commercial release in 13
saw
years.
that. I actually backed it.
Good Boy Galaxy, yeah.
That looked great. I love those little as we've discussed. I love those little like old school side scrolling looking games, and that game looked awesome, and it hit its goal in like 6 hours.
Wow, really? That's great.
Nice.
Did you hear about that at all, Arlo?
Yeah, I did, and it's funny because it's like I don't know, like you get a lot of like little NES projects and stuff. I guess not a lot of people have focused on GBA. If this is really the first that anyone has done in 13 years.
Yeah, and it actually looked really good. He's playing his little dog in space. Good Boy Galaxy. That's a perfect name.
Yeah, it looks very polished. I am looking forward to that for sure.
And it's coming to Switch, so I backed the physical Switch version. Yeah, so
cool.
I'm Switch is I still collect for that system pretty regularly. Like, I saw a physical Switch game and I was like, I have to. But yeah, that looks good. I mean, I think that's a testament to like the age of the kids who play GBA are now like really learning how to code and program.
Yeah,
like we went through the nostalgia cycle, but now those people who are nostalgic, some of them are like, I just want to make one of these things. I imagine we'll see more of them, which is really cool. And then we're probably a few years off from people making Kickstarters of like DS games.
Oh yeah,
you can make like custom DS cards. So
absolutely.
You can make so why not? That stuff. I think that stuff again, but the whole fan game raving about. I think that stuff's the coolest.
Yeah, and then the rest of us with the nostalgia, we got the money now because we're the grown-ups.
That's true. Yeah,
we'll buy little pieces of plastic. Well, I do believe it is time to move on to listener questions. Who's ready to answer some questions?
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, see, thank you. Thank you for the enthusiasm. EJ asks, what is one game from the last 10 years you wish came out when you were a kid? Ant, start with you.
Ooh, the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Breath of the Wild. I think that'll be an easy one. Like, as a kid, I was very big into just letting a game consume my life and wanting to be in the world. So Breath of the Wild managed to get that feeling out of me as an adult. I can only imagine like being a preteen and playing that game So yeah, I'd probably say that one.
Yeah, see, it's funny that you say that because that's like I started to think Breath of the Wild, but the fact that it elicited in me that rare feeling makes me think it's a bad choice because I already kind of got it. Even when like I'm a grown up and I don't get that from games that much, I feel like it would be a bad choice to pick one that did. I kind of have to pick one that like I didn't get into that much. A lot of games like Stardew Valley, but then like I kind of did play Stardew Valley a lot. So I'm like, if I can cheat a little bit and stretch that 10 years, it's Minecraft. I never got into Minecraft.
Dude, I was about to say that. Like, yeah, like,
Okay.
Minecraft is maybe an obvious pick, but I think that, like, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I got into it around the same time that it was, I think 2009 was like the public beta.
Yeah.
So it was, it is stretching the decade.
Something
but
like that, yeah.
Like Minecraft would have absolutely sucked up every hour of my childhood.
Yeah, it would have been my life. It would have been my entire life. And really, it's like the creation stuff that I don't have the patience for now so much. So even stuff like Mario Maker would have been like, I would have gotten so into it so much. But yeah, pretty much any creative tool, we just didn't have those back then.
Yeah. So you know what? I could bounce off that too. I can change to saying Dragon Quest Builders.
Oh yeah,
because that's similar to Minecraft. But the thing I liked about Builders so much was that there's still a game to it. Like there's a proper adventure and quest.
Yes.
So I think that would have been the thing that as a kid I would feel the freedom of Minecraft, but also know I have to save the world. So
yeah, I've been wanting to play those games so bad. I played the demo
for
for the first one.
So good.
It's one of those things where like I can't touch those games. It's going to become a problem if I start playing those games.
Well, I'll throw a wrench in here and say that I don't know if you all have experienced the joy of this or not, but the technology definitely didn't exist back when I was a kid. But one of my favorite things to come out of the past decade has been the Jackbox party games.
Oh yeah,
the ones where you like get on your phone and play with a group of people on your TV. I feel like that would have been an obsession at any sort of family gathering or sleepover or anything if it was around when I was growing up.
There's really
because you don't know Jack has been a thing, but not all those extra side games.
Yeah, I mean like the Connect. Yeah, there's really so much. I mean like any open world game. You could have given that to me. I mean, like, we were sitting there playing games that are like 2 hours long and we play them 6,000 times. Like, digging into depths of these games you're never supposed to dig into because we just didn't have anything else to play. Imagine having an actual, like, 200-hour open world game. It would have been crazy. And yeah, even stuff like the Jackbox thing, just that, I don't know, just would have been massive back then. But it's just how, tech goes and everything. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, the next question comes from Jax Frost. What are some of the misconceptions or just unnoticed things about being a YouTuber that you feel are important? Every time we get YouTubers together, we got to complain about YouTube. So I thought this was appropriate. Drew, what about you?
I would say the number one misconception I get is that as soon as anybody sees, well, I shouldn't say anybody, but there is a certain group of commenters that will come to my channel, see my backdrop and think immediately, oh, this guy's got to be just absolutely hoarding wealth. He is ridiculously rich. And I won't say there's nothing farther from the truth because that would be a little self-deprecating or might say I'm in danger or something. But it definitely a collection in my sphere because I'm definitely the retro collector of at least of the Minus World group that I pal around with over on YouTube. It's if you get into the space of collecting, I guess a lot of people are also in the realm of deal hunting and trying to undercut market value as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
And if I look at my gaming collection, I can count the things that I have gotten for at or above market value on like one hand, probably. Like anytime I'm trying to run out and find new things to add to the collection, I'm always trying to hunt for something that is as close to free as possible. So it's definitely been a labor of love over the past better part of 13, 14 years that I've put together the retro collection. That I just confirming here, deconfirmed, I'm not rich.
Well, see, that's the thing is they're like, oh man, look at all that stuff. You must have a lot of money. And then you just kind of look at the stuff and you're like, you think I have money after getting all of
Yeah,
that.
right?
Right.
This is where
Poor
all my
now.
money goes. I don't have money anymore.
Exactly.
Dude, like a lot of that is Social Blade's fault. You'll pop up a YouTube and be like, they make anywhere from $2 to $2 million. That's crazy.
Or like those things that'll like calculate your net worth and you have no idea where they're pulling from. It's just like this internet celebrity.
I know. I'd be like, I wish I was worth that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Seriously, what does that even mean? Where are you getting that? What about you, Ant?
Yeah. So the thing I would say is, for the most part, I can't speak for every single person, but I think most people in this circle, we're just dudes.
Yep.
Like there's no, I've been reached out to on Twitter from people who are at conventions and they said that they were too nervous to come up and say hi. And I'm like, dude, we're just dudes. Like we're just a bunch of random people who just dedicate our time to it, but that's just it. It's just time. Yeah. We're just big dumb nerds with a camera and a microphone. Like we're just it's not like an invitation to like hound us if we're at a convention, but I think at the end of the day, people will put a lot of YouTubers on a pedestal, and it's just realistically, we're just people trying to live lives, and this is just the avenue that we took. I think it's the same as any other person who tries to, make something of themselves in any different field with starting a business and whatnot. We're just a bunch of nerds. That's it.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that encompasses everything. Just because a good number of people listen to my opinions, that doesn't even make them good opinions. I'm not smart. Dude, I'm not an authority on anything.
I've seen a lot of stuff. Where people will blame someone like me, or some call me Johnny, as people who like put a bad stamp on a few Sonic games. Like, people thought Sonic games were all good until I opened my big dumb mouth, and I'm like, who am I really at the end of the day? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel when going back to the convention circuit, like the first time, if I set up for like a signing booth or something like that, the first time that a fan will approach me and ask for a photo or an autograph or something, I am personally super anxious and nervous that I'm gonna like give them the wrong impression, or I'm gonna
we're
do
nervous
something
too.
Yeah, like I get like shaky and sweaty the first time a kid comes up to me, but
absolutely,
I'm sure I'm just as scared as they are.
Yeah, doing panels like, whoa, where's the camera? I can't edit this. This is real.
Yeah.
You make a video and 100,000 people see it, and it's like whatever, but it's like this room has like 200 people in it. This is scary.
Yeah. It makes it more real for sure.
I think like one of the most worrying times was at I think it was at a Too Many Games. There was one of the late night parties, and it was meant to be just for YouTubers, but somehow just a few like normal people came in. One of them was a fan and spotted me and wanted to talk like any other normal convention thing, but I was a few drinks into my night. But I was still lucid, but I was so sorry, God. You got me at a bad time, and I haven't heard from that guy, so I don't know what he thinks of me. But you talk about wrong impressions. That was a wrong first impression.
No.
Yeah, I'm terrified of like having someone walk away being like, oh, that guy's a jerk, or like he clearly didn't want to be there. Like I want everybody to, because I legitimately love meeting people, so like I really do want them to be happy with meeting me and everything, but like that it takes a lot of energy when you're nervous about leaving that impression. No, it's a big thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, on the other hand, it's definitely like one of the biggest motivators for me is being able to meet those people who are into the same stuff at conventions throughout the year, and being able to, kind of test the waters and make sure, like get that reassurance that like, yeah, people are enjoying what we're doing. And
real people. Not just numbers, not just comments, like seeing real people with faces talking at you and telling you that they appreciate you. Like that goes a long way. People got to know that. Like we get something out of conventions. We're not like, it's not like they're paying us to go there just so we can shake some hands and get our check. Like we don't get paid. We want to do that.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Well, my answer is I'm actually surprised. I wanted to go last because I thought someone else would say it before I did. But let's say the main misconception you get is like, oh, you play video games all day.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, no.
That's definitely the misconception from like family or friends of family.
Yeah, people who are like not a part of it. Yeah, I think, we're all sort of... We're finally getting the word out there, even just in like tweets and stuff. It's just like, it's not like editing. It's editing. It's so much editing. And now I have editors, so it's just writing and writing and writing forever. Barely any of it is playing video games.
Yeah.
And but really, the answer, especially because the question says unnoticed, misconceptions or unnoticed things, we could talk all day. We could fill hours and hours about just like the little.
I mean, we do. This is some of the things that we do at conventions. Is just talk about a lot of the garbage that goes on like that. But
just weird, random little things you wouldn't expect that even just come from self-employment. Even just that by itself adds a whole lot.
Sure.
That's not just exclusive to YouTubers. Okay, so this
definitely is a different world.
It's very different. It's very weird. So this final question is going to be controversial. There are going to be arguments in the comments. There might be arguments here, because you know what? I'm a West Coaster. Where are you from, Drew?
Kentucky, actually. Believe it or not, there's not much of us out here, but
yeah, this is gonna be a thing. Connor Wenga asks. I mean, it was inevitable that we get to this question at some point on the show. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? Ant, start with you.
So I am actually a yay on that.
Really? Even though you're on the East Coast?
I'm on the East Coast, and I'm Italian, and I'm from New York City. But yes, I actually had a pineapple and pepperoni pizza just a couple nights ago. I think the sweet tartness goes well with the cheese. And usually a meat of choice, whether that be the pepperoni or ham. Like Hawaiian pizzas are dope. I feel like most people who say no, I'll not say all because I haven't heard Drew yet. I think most people hate it because they haven't had it. But no, I think it's pretty good. Not my go-to. I prefer like a meat lovers, but if there's pineapple there, I'll eat it.
All right, well that's good. Well, even well-reasoned response. What about you, Drew? You gonna bring the the pain?
I'm probably in a weird position because I guess you'd call me more East Coast, but pineapple on pizza was actually my parents' go-to when I was growing up. That's always been their favorite pizza that they would order. Now for me, it's never been my thing, but I certainly wouldn't think it's like an egregious sin to put pineapple on your pizza. I've had it. It's fine. It's not my favorite. My hot take is that pickles are definitely a topping that need to be at every major chain's, in all their apps and all. Make it available, because if you can't have pickles on a pizza, you can't make a genuinely good like bacon cheeseburger pizza. You got to have pickles on your pizza. So that's my weird hot take.
Interesting.
Yeah. To cover the pickle thing first, my first reaction is. It's a little weird, but I have had a burger pizza once, and if you're going for the full burger, then definitely. But I would not put pickles on a pizza in any other scenario.
No, you're not going to put pickles on cheese pizza or something like that. That's gross.
It's just pickles. Pickles, cheese,
pickles.
and bread. Oops, all pickles.
Oh, that's
none
disgusting.
pizza, left pickles.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, so Hawaiian, it's funny. Some people respond so violently to the very idea of it, but like
I don't think anybody seriously is that opinionated.
Yeah, they're probably
about
playing it
pizza
up, but it does
toppings.
mean that they hate the idea that much. But like I didn't know. I think it took me a while to realize it might just be a California thing. There's no question. It's one of the most like Hawaiian pizza, super duper common.
Yeah.
Like the idea that it is weird at all. I didn't even know that was a thing that anybody thought, because it's so common here. Every pizza place you go to, half the people are ordering Hawaiian. Pineapple and pizza is just a thing. I growing up, I didn't really like it, but as my tastes evolved, I do like it now. I like it with sausage.
Yeah, that's always good, because that's like a nice sharp sausage too, to really offset the sweetness. Yeah, for sure.
What I'll do is I'll get like a take and bake pizza from the grocery store, but then I'll just get my own stuff and add on top of it, because I want to have all this. So I'll just get like a thing of sliced or like pineapple chunks and just dump them on there and dump a whole thing of sausage on there. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, I'm hungry.
There's the pro strat. You heard it here.
Yeah. So yeah, to me, it's always been very normal, super duper normal.
The timing on that is actually kind of funny, because this is out on Twitter, so I mean, we're still keeping it somewhat secret, but Drew and I were hanging out a little while ago in an undisclosed location with a few others, and one night we all got pizza, and I hounded the person getting the pizzas to say, hey, I swear, get one that's pepperoni and pineapple, it'll turn some heads. And sure enough, like that ended up being one of the first pizzas to be gone. Or at least the most slices gone. There's like a white pizza, normal pepperoni, but the pineapple, I think that was the one to hit like the lowest amount of slices first. So I'm just saying, it's good.
It's good?
Don't be a prude.
No, it's good. It's the sweetness. No, it's super good. I want to hang out with YouTubers and eat pizza. Oh, well, you didn't invite me.
I'm sorry. Next year.
Just because I'm 1,000 miles away or whatever. How many?
Yeah.
I have no idea how many miles away I am. Someday we'll see people again. Someday. Well, it's time
I hope.
for our next segment. What you been playing? Drew, what you been playing recently? What kinds of games you been playing?
Well, most recently, that new Quake remaster just dropped for every platform under the sun, and I've been obsessively playing it on my Switch. I just beat the Quake campaign for the first time, so I've been quite enjoying that and checking out some of the new campaigns.
So they added new stuff
also,
to it? Because I saw a lot of people excited about it, but I was like, it seems like one of those games that has been re-released a bunch. Like, is it because it's remastered and they did stuff? Like,
I mean, it's been around for, since the beginning of time. But, this new remaster, it has, like, updated models and lighting effects. And actually, one of the really cool things that I did not expect is it's got cross-platform multiplayer with just, like, a room code. So my buddy Matt was like playing they gave it out to anybody who had the base Quake game on Steam for free. So he was playing it on Steam and just started a room and was like, hey, try to put in this room code on the Switch. And I did, and it worked. And you could just hop in and play a match of multiplayer Quake with randos online or with your buds with a room code. I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome. You get some companies who, like, it's like pulling teeth trying to get a simple re-release, a simple port. And then you get other companies who are just like, here's every game we've ever done on every single thing. Hey, you get this for free if you already had the other one. Hey, look, cross-play. It's just like everything is easy and free. And it's like, it can be easy sometimes. If they want
and they had a whole new campaign, too, that they commissioned a team who'd worked on the series before to make a new campaign, which I've heard only good things about. So
new content and everything. Done. It's just like, it really can happen.
It's not just a myth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's good. Anything else, or is that the main thing you've been playing?
Right before Quake, I just got into Risk of Rain 2 and have been putting an ungodly amount of hours into that as well. It's kind of have either of you played it?
I've heard good things.
I have not. I've heard good things. Yeah, same.
It's if you played like The Binding of Isaac, it's that same sort of roguelite genre, but in a third-person shooter, and it honestly, like, if you look at the art style, it's not something that was like immediately just like super eye-catching to me. But like once I got into it, there's some variety in environments and stuff, and you get on this loop that's just really addictive to keep going back and trying to get super overpowered runs. So if you like any sort of cyclical experience like that, it's definitely something I would recommend.
Very good. What about you, Ant?
My big game has been the new Ace Attorney, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Nice.
I don't know if either of you gentlemen are into Ace Attorney at all. Oh my god, it's so good. Ace Attorney is one of my favorite franchises ever. Like, when I have a full blown game room, I want to make a shrine to Phoenix Wright because I love this franchise so much. And the stories of these games are just fantastic. They're in an old school era of Japan and Britain. There's like it's weird. Like, I don't know. One of the things that's interesting with this Ace Attorney is it being so old school, and it's in Britain, so there's all these different languages. There's a bunch of language barriers, but you are the lone Japanese man who came in from overseas to study law, and you're sort of disrupting the system. There's an odd level of almost like racism in it. Because like the main prosecutor will consistently be like, "Oh, you can't trust the Nipponese," and I'm like, "What?" And that's just a consistent thing. But the stories are like super epic. The characters are great, like any other Ace Attorney game. Yeah, for anyone who's into visual novels or Ace Attorney or anything like that, highly recommend those. It's a good starting game too if you're not into Ace Attorney. Most Ace Attorney games, it's best if you played the original Phoenix games, but this one you can jump right in, and that it's easily going to be one of my games of the year. I've been waiting for this for 5 years, I think was the original 3DS release. And the wait was definitely worth it. It's awesome.
That's great. I've only heard good things about it. I have the original trilogy on Switch. I need to play it. Been wanting to play. I mean, ever since it came out, I've been wanting to play it. I just, haven't.
They're a bit of a time sink. I mean, it depends on your reading speed, but like 20, 30 hours, I think would probably be to get through like a bulk of it.
Wow.
Yeah, the trilogy is the last one that I had played, but it's really nice to just be able to, that was, I think, for a good month or so, that was my bedtime routine is, go to bed and take the Switch and play through a case,
Yeah.
Well, Well, that's good. My answer, I was lucky enough to get an early copy of No More Heroes 3.
Yeah,
And,
how's that?
Yeah,
It's good. I didn't anticipate liking it this much. I really wasn't interested in the series at all, but it's cool. It's really cool. Like just the style, the visuals, and everything. It's really neat. It's really I don't know. I did a whole video. If anyone wants to know, yeah, go check that out.
Yeah.
No, it's really fun though, and I'm still deciding if I want to keep playing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep playing. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. But it was very funny because last night, I put out the video, and then I wanted a little change of pace, and so I then popped on The Stillness of the Wind. You ever heard of this one?
No.
It's like a farming sim, except you're a little old lady who walks really, really slowly. And it's like melancholy, quiet. It's about loss and age. And it's just like, I've never experienced like thematic whiplash that hard in my life.
Just
going from
the dichotomy.
Just going from No More Heroes 3 to this with the soft piano music and you're feeding your goats and like... It's pretty interesting. Well,
just the sheer juxtaposition of it all.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty great. Well, now we come to our final segment of the show. It's What You Been Eating. I will go first.
Ooh.
So last week I said I was doing better about getting on the healthier food train. A little less good this week. Not quite as good. Lots of work stress. Eating a little bit more junk food. You know, TJ's, the Trader Joe's, they have vegan marshmallows, and they're better than regular marshmallows. They're so good.
Ooh.
I believe it.
They're so good. They got so much more texture to them. And then yesterday Giant Burger. I think that's a thing where I can't tell if it's a franchise or if there's just a lot of restaurants called Giant Burger. But I had a Giant Burger from Giant Burger, and that was pretty good. Giant Burger, that's my favorite food right there. If my hamburger's my favorite food, the favorite size is definitely giant. So, Ant, what you been eating recently?
I think I said something similar when I was on last time, but I am such a fan of HelloFresh, dude. It's crazy.
Back with the HelloFresh. Yes, do it.
I'm back with the HelloFresh. Like I think I pulled up the past delivery. I had citrus pork tacos.
Ooh.
Those are fantastic. I had Chipotle barbecue pork tenderloin with a potato, pepper, onion, and cilantro hash.
Sounds incredible.
Amazing.
And are you telling me that this is all delivered straight to your door?
It's all delivered to you. The ingredients are nice and fresh. They're kept nice and frozen, so you're good. You get the nice recipe cards you can keep for later if you want to remake the recipes.
It sounds like an incredible deal.
It's great. And they're not even paying me for this, I swear. I legally have to say that.
It sounds like an incredible deal if you ask me.
It is an incredible deal. I love it. Every week you can it's great. But outside of that, I can make a mean chicken sandwich on my own. Speaking of Trader Joe's, they got so many crazy cool seasoning combination like things you can get. Just slap some of that onto some chicken breast, throw it on a pan for 4 minutes each, put it on bread, you're set. It's great.
Seriously, I want to be sponsored by Trader Joe's. I sing their praises all the time. Last week.
That's a realistic dream.
Yeah, I mean,
like some people have pipe dreams, but I feel like that's pretty realistic.
I love Trader Joe's so much. I was talking about this last week. Ant, have you had their, it's like the Carolina barbecue chips?
No, I have not.
I think it's like a temporary thing, and I don't know if it's every single store. It's like Carolina Gold barbecue flavored chips or something.
Ooh.
If you like, it's like a barbecue chip mixed with a vinegar chip. So it's like,
I love both
it's like
of those
barbecue,
things.
but with a little more zing to it. But it's also a little bit like those Honey Dijon kettle chips. So there's like a sweetness to it too. Incredible.
Oh, you're speaking to my heart.
Sounds kind of like those voodoo chips that we had.
Voodoo chips are amazing.
We did a chip ranking challenge.
Yeah. Those chips are amazing. I am a big sucker for just like a variety of chip flavors because there are so many of them. Mm-hmm. Recently, Lay's was doing like this weird thing where they combined other chips that they have with their normal potato chips. So you'd like get Funyun flavored crinkle or whatever wavy chips. And you eat one, it's like, oh my god, that tastes like a Funyun. they had Cheeto dust-covered normal potato chips, and it's like, oh my god, they taste like Cheetos, but I love that stuff. So I imagine the Trader Joe's, barbecue vinegar chips, right up my alley. I love those.
Yeah, you gotta. I think they're a temporary thing because I haven't seen them before, so I don't know if like enough people buy them. Can we keep getting them? Because I'm gonna be crushed when they stop.
You gotta stock up like toilet paper.
I know exactly. Like how long do chips last? I think someone has mentioned this on the show before, but have you guys heard of prison chips?
No.
Prison chips?
Yeah.
No.
It's like this thing. I don't know enough about it, but it's like this thing where it's like for prisons, they want to have chips and they get like the leftover seasonings from like companies or something. And it's basically like every chip seasoning put together on a chip because it's cheaper. And they sell it to prisons. But people started realizing that they're really, really, really good. So like you have to like go online and special order prison chips.
Whoa.
Because they're like great. I haven't tried them, but it sounds amazing.
I found a 2016 article that says chips so good you'll have to go to jail to get them. Why'd you go past the speed limit? Well, heard you guys got some good chips.
I just like spend the night, pick up some chips, be out of there. Well, Drew, what you been eating?
I didn't realize before coming on this podcast that we'd have to tell on ourselves.
You have to.
I definitely just had a giant burger from Sonic for lunch, and I know my wife just got back like 10 minutes ago with some Mexican food that's calling my name. But but I guess more interesting and authentic to my southern location is my favorite food I was able to get this past week, which is Nashville hot chicken. My favorite place to go is Hattie B's Hot Chicken. I think they've opened some countrywide locations, but I think they're still they can't have more than 10 locations, I'd imagine. But I think there's one in Vegas, maybe one in California somewhere. But they have an absolutely delicious seasoning oil blend for their fried chicken. I always go for the 3 jumbo tenders and hot. And if you haven't had Nashville hot chicken before, it's definitely a good experience. If you get it from the right place, it can be life changing. It's a nice kind of a little tiny bit sweet, but just mainly just a whole body warming heat that pairs nicely with the pickles and bread and just the whole experience. So if you haven't had it, I would highly recommend.
I am starving. This always have every single time.
I know, really. I haven't had dinner yet.
Every time. I'm always starving by the end of this. That sounds incredible. But see, the problem is we all talk about what we had, so now I don't know if I want chicken or burgers or Mexican food or chips.
You could do all of them.
The world is your oyster.
I can't do that.
You could get oysters.
I can do. I'm not going to do oysters. That's gross. Well, you guys, this has been a wonderful time. Thank you for coming on the show.
Wait. What have you been eating?
I said it.
Oh, no, you said a giant burger. Yeah. I blanked out. Everyone's just been saying food, and I phased out for a second.
You can just imagine anytime.
Getting the meat sweats.
You can just guess it was a giant burger. Like, if you're going to guess.
I got too excited. I apologize.
Yeah. We got the hunger blindness.
I do.
Yeah. I'm going crazy now. Did you enjoy your time on the show? Because I certainly did enjoy having you both.
Absolutely.
It was okay. I don't know if I would do it again. I've done it twice. I feel like I've hit my limit.
Kind of 3 times.
Honestly,
I will give top marks. Great review.
Yeah, for you. That's good.
Would talk again.
That's good. Mixed reception. It's better than negative. Drew, where can we find you?
All over the internet. I'm over on the Twitter most days, and but my main gig, of course, is in the Nintendo YouTube space. So you can just go to youtube.com/Nintendrew, find all my links if you like that sort of thing.
Perfect. Ant?
Yeah, over on YouTube and Twitter, AntDude92.
AntDude92, perfect. Well, now is the time when we all look at the imaginary camera and we wave goodbye and we say, goodbye. You have to do it though. Yes, goodbye. Have a wonderful day. That's a good one. Arrivederci. And that, my friends, is the end of another episode of Arlocast. Was that fun? Was it just me? Or was that a heck of a good time? Another thanks to Nintendrew and AntDude. Go check them out on their respective channels and all that stuff. Be sure to follow @Arlocast on Twitter for updates and to submit questions, etc. This episode was edited and produced by Chris Jones. All the music you've been enjoying was created by Northnan. The Arlocast logo was created by Mario Castañeda. Links to all socials, channels, etc. for all guests and artists, along with an address for business inquiries, can be found in the show notes. As with all things I do, I am supported in part by my beautiful Patreon patrons, so an extra special thank you to them. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next time on Arlocast.
Adios.